Okay, now dependent suspension, also known as rigid or straight axle, is a rather simple construction in which the wheels are connected to each other by a solid axle. Dependent suspension systems are often found on commercial vehicles. Dependent suspension is used less and less in passenger vehicles because it requires a lot of space under the vehicle, which makes for a high center of gravity. So which type of suspension is illustrated? Dependent. What is a characteristic of the construction of dependent suspension? The wheels are connected by a rigid axle. What are the characteristics of dependent suspension? There's a high center of gravity. It requires a lot of installation space. And actually, it's a simple construction. So that'd be no. Where is dependent suspension often used? On commercial vehicles. Very, very less common on passenger vehicles. What is true concerning dependent suspension? Well, both wheels are connected to each other in a solid axle. This means that a movement in one wheel directly influences the movement in the other wheel. If the wheel deflection increases or decreases simultaneously and equally, then this has no effect on the wheel setting. So here you see it being lifted up, and you can see the angle on both. So the movement of one wheel is partially the movement of one wheel directly influences the other wheel on the axle. Yes. Which wheel setting changes in both wheels if the vehicle drives over the stone? Well, this goes back to camber again. The angle of the tires, either in or out, positive or negative. Which wheel setting changes in both wheels if the vehicle drives over a speed bump? And if you watch, do you see any movement in the blue line? No. So there is no setting change. Okay, so again, read the article on camber that I have for you in your online classroom.